Alright, welcome back to another video, and this is a paid request from Rapid Kirby 3K. Thank you so much for your patience, your kindness. Sorry for the wait, had to make sure I had the time to do this in terms of this is a 2 hour and 15-minute movie, so to do this without, interruptions and such. But he had requested a commentary for me to do Speed Racer, 2008 film, that I actually do like. It's funny. Whenever I say I like this film, I get people giving me this. Like, really? It's like, yeah. This film I was actually surprised by because I didn't know much about Speed Racer. I never watched much of the cartoon. I just know the song. Go, Speed Racer, go. That's as much as I know about it. And the Wachowskis, whatever the fuck they are, guy, girl, whatever the fuck they are, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, cousins, what the fuck they are now. You know, I like the Matrix trilogy. That's pretty much it from them I like. But I did like this as well. But this was a big bomb. But you know what? Let's get started. It's a pretty lengthy film. So 3, 2, 1, pressing play. And the kaleidoscope here of colors, which is like a lot of this film. Like I said, if anyone wants to request any type of videos, PayPal's the best way to do it. To have a cash app as well. Links are down below in the info box, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. And yeah, this opening alone kind of tells you the whirlwind of colors and sensations that you're going to see for the rest of the film. And this is what I like. This was a virtuoso of style. And it was so much style that I really felt kind of charmed by the movie. So this idea about how with Speed, when he was a kid, he was always itching to go, itching to do something, and just cannot keep track, cannot. All those damn pencils with the erasers. That was a pain in the ass when you try to erase something, and then when you're erasing it, it rips the fucking paper. The rip of the paper, oh god, that was always irritating. I like that little detail that as he goes down, that the paper changes to blah 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 and such. And I think what it is, this film really, it encapsulated the insanity of a cartoon, but yet directors that had the visual style to go all the way with it. And the actors seem committed to the part. Like the Flintstones movie, which actually I think that's a commentary I got requested we'll do down the road. I mean, that has some decent like architecture, like set design stuff, but the story and the way they implemented it didn't really fully encapsulate the cartoon. Instead, it was just kind of business dealings and business ventures and strewn over in corporate. Here, though, to me, this really does get into the mind of a kid. And the fact that it's done in this like hand drawn animation style, like crayon style, that really encapsulates like a kid's mind just escaping for reality. And I would do this a lot in terms of daydream a lot. It would never this vivid and such, but it's kind of charming to see this kid, just escape in fantasy and daydreaming, and just how visually interesting it was that they showcased it. I mean, that kind of crayon style. And just look at this world, man. It's so unique looking. I mean, yeah, when you see the clouds and stuff, you do tell that's green screen easily. You tell that it's not a real sky or anything. But I don't think they were going. Like, I think they knew, and they weren't even trying to be realistic. It's like hey, this is a cartoon world. We're not going to shy away. We're not going to try to fool people. No, this is a cartoonish world. Embracing it. I think embracement of it kind of was charming too. It just so vividly colorful. And it makes it just look so unique that. And then they had the budget by Warner Bros. To do it, because there may be some people that may want to do this, but they just don't have the budget to accomplish this shit. And this stuff here, with the way they do like the camera work, it just, well, I say camera work, it's all CG, but it just, you really do feel like the velocity in these scenes. And because it's such a unique world, I get why it's done CG. The way the cars are, the way the tracks are, the way the environment is. There's a lot of times you watch films or race car films and you don't just do it practical. They did it practical back in the day. But the way this is like using it to curve and swerve, and at times you have these like rocket propelled cars. I mean, I could forgive it being CGI because I get why they implemented that in the first place. Like Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, if you had a Sonic the Hedgehog movie where you would go into these alien worlds and have tracks like this where he would be able to do like he would in the games, or like this here with the neon, like if it was like the casino world type that was in the first, maybe in the second Sonic game, I can see why it'd be all done CG as long as you do it well enough. And just the way they glide the camera, it doesn't feel too. I don't know. I didn't feel, well. It wasn't all the time herky jerky that I was confused as to what was going on. Like, this had, I mean, whether you liked or disliked the film, this had a vision and this had ambition, and I think that's why afterward, like, the film did not do that well because people, I mean, I don't know if any type of speed racer film would have done that wonderful in America. But it has had a life since because of just. So that kind of foam thing that keeps people safe. To show and explain to the audience about how, no, he's not killing these people. They have this. They kind of did that in Demolition Man as well, but it was that white foam. You Mickey Mouse piece of shit. And the way they do the transitions, like the way it'll go, it's just mesmerizing at times, the way they do certain transitions. Like what is that? Like, it's in the stars, and all of a sudden it's back on the track. You're like, what the, like? Because we're on another. To me, it's just an interesting visual feast. Now, of course, the actors, you have Emile Hirsch as your lead. Well, actually, maybe I should wait until, the actor's not there. Oh, so he's not. I forgot he wasn't in. There. Oh, yeah, because he's thinking about his family member and wanted to be in his shoes. So that's for me, like the transition. There's all these transitions, man. Some may say it's a bit too showy, bit too jangling of keys. Look how shiny we are. Style over substance. But if you don't do style, this is the way to do it. But I guess to get into the actors, you got Emile Hirsch as your lead. Emile Hirsch, he was in Lone Survivor, among other films. I remember he was in this alien invasion film, The Darkest Hour. He still works to this day. I think he has a horror film coming out next year called Lice. He still does it's not direct to video, but I always want to say it's direct to streaming films. He still does a lot of those. So he's still working in a consistent manner. First off, the girl knocked the shit out of the other girl. And second, again, this is sweet. There's nothing creepy or weird about it. It's just, okay, kids a little bit. It's done in a sweet manner. Again, no reason to make it creepy or something. But yeah, you have Emil Hirsch. He was never the guy. He was in an Oliver Stone film. I want to say it was Savages, and that really didn't do much of anything. Like, he was never the guy that got to be the leading star. He got to be the box office star. That's what I'm getting at. He was never put into being a big box office star. I think films like the Oliver Stone film Savages, this film was kind of his jump to glory, the chance, and then it didn't pan out. So, I mean, he still works consistently, but it's more of the streaming service series of movies. And then we had Christina Ricci there, of course, who was in the Addams Family and Addams Family Values. She was in, of course, Sleepy Hollow. Tons of stuff throughout the years. She was even on that TV show Wednesday for a few episodes. Of course, she's worked consistently throughout the years. You had the parents, John Goodman, of course, which he's lost weight. I'm glad for that, because that way he's a bit healthier and live longer, because I love John Goodman. First time in Arachnophobia, love him in that. Of course, he's in the TV show. He was in the TV show Roseanne, then The Conners after that. But Arachnophobia and The Big Lebowski are the two things I always think of when I think of John Goodman. And funny enough, I was thinking The Flintstones. There you go. A cartoon movie that I think John Goodman's a lot better in is this one than The Flintstones. But yeah, John, like I said, The Big Lebowski and Arachnophobia, love those two. Again, John Goodman's always been a great actor. Susan Sarandon, been in a ton of stuff. The Client, Dead Man Walking, variety of other films. I don't know what was the last thing she's done. I'd have to look into it. Obviously, they're trying to give a lot of exposition, a lot of information about the family, what's going on, his brother being called a cheater, all this other stuff. A lot of info to be thrust upon the viewer, but at the same time, it's at least trying to do it in a somewhat visually interesting way. Damn, nice right hook. Kick his ass, Seabass. Wearing your Where's Waldo shirt. Kid, you don't even have a handkerchief. You have a goddamn painted on handkerchief. You shouldn't talk, kid. Of course, the death of the brother, which we find out more than likely that wasn't the case, because more than likely, Matthew Fox's character is the brother. They pretty much confirm that later on, and there's a reason why he's hiding it. Of course, Matthew Fox is not on screen yet, but he's been a lot of. I mean, he was on the TV show Lost. I remember him in this film Alex Cross. He was the main villain in that. I think he was supposed to have a bigger part in World War Z, but they changed the third act of the film, so I think a lot of his stuff got cut out. And he got in a bit of controversy, Matthew Fox, because like this bus driver said he hit her, and he's like, no, I didn't, and she just wanted for clout. And then one of his co-stars is like, oh yeah, he hits women. And then Matthew Fox is like, that's bullshit. That guy's full of shit. So I thought this kind of looked cool visually. Him racing his brother, racing a ghost. And he's like, he doesn't want to overtake his brother. He wants his brother to still keep that glory. I mean, he still won, but he wants his brother to keep that glory. Have that at least be a memory. In his brother's place. There's Matthew Fox. Jesus Christ. I don't even know that animation would be worth Adult Swim. God, that's like fucking Newgrounds type of animation. I think more like the kids anime. I think this really brought about kind of the way how the younger generation kids can really infer their imagination and escape in their own worlds and visualize that. I thought this kid did a good job too. What are you doing? Nothing. I'm not doing anything. I'm fine. He wasn't too he wasn't obnoxious. He wasn't annoying. He wasn't. And they didn't like go into like juvenile jokes, a whole lot of fart jokes or anything of that sort. This kid looks familiar. Why? I feel like I've seen this kid in other stuff. 6.1 on IMDb, 42% Rotten Tomatoes, rated PG, $120 million budget. So it came out 2008. Same year I saw Rambo 4 in the theaters. 1966 manga series. Then you had the cartoon. I didn't Didn't see much of that. Paulie Lit. Why do I feel like I've seen him before? He had a bit role in Jersey Girl, and I would not remember him in that movie. Young Bull in Eternal Sunshine of I've seen Eternal Sunshine of Spotless Mind. I like the film. I don't remember him in that. No, okay. He just reminds me of someone. I don't know who, but is it okay? They have Roger Allam here, the corrupt CEO, the bad guy of the movie. He was on Game of Thrones, among other stuff. It says in September 1992, Joe Pytka announced that Warner Bros. Held the option to create a live-action adaptation of Speed Racer. Henry Rollins was offered the role of Racer X in 1994. In 95, Johnny Depp was cast as Speed Racer. Depp requested time off from the studio for personal business, delaying production. It was going to be directed by Julian Temple, who did short films for the Sex Pistols. So yeah, they probably want a music video director that tried to get a certain editing style to it. They briefly hired Alfonso Cuarón. That's the guy who did Children of Men and Gravity. A lot of writers were involved in 2000. They hired music video director Hype Williams. Eventually, the director and writers left the project. In June 2004, Vince Vaughn spearheaded a revival of the project, representing a take for the film that would develop the characters more strongly. Vaughn was cast as Racer X and was a producer, but eventually he detached himself from the project. Then October 2006, the Wachowskis were brought on board, who had worked on V for Vendetta and the Matrix trilogy. Stream of consciousness storytelling. More fluid transitions with the intention that scenes would feel like this experimental flowing thing that was transcending normal, simple, linear narrative. Bright, colorful, smooth look is indebted to pop art. Well, I do like that. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Shia LaBeouf, and Zac Efron were originally considered for the role of Speed Racer. Shia LaBeouf, nah. I mean, I don't mind Shia LaBeouf. Joseph Gordon-Levitt I could have seen. But I thought Emile Hirsch did fine. But I'll also actually see Joseph Gordon-Levitt doing it. Elijah Cuthbert, Kate Mara, and Rose McGowan were originally considered for the role that Christina Ricci got. I thought Ricci did fine. Keanu Reeves was offered the role of Racer X, but declined. That would have been interesting. The film was backed by promotional partners with over $80 million in marketing support. General Mills, McDonald's, Target, Tops, Mattel, Lego. Yeah, they were hoping this would be the next big thing. There was a video game for PS2. But it grossed 18.6 million opening weekend. It was third in the box office behind Iron Man and What Happens in Vegas. It made 43.9 million in the US. A total of 93 million worldwide. Production costs were at least 120 million. Holy shit. Throughout the years, film has appeared on underrated film lists. Third most underrated film of the 2000s by Den of Deek. Let's see. Collider said it was number 30 of the best Hollywood blockbusters of the 21st century, while others worked to ground their fantastical premises to a gritty, realistic setting. Speed Racer leaned hard in the other direction. Man. Yeah. Yeah, you just see. I mean, this whole scene here kind of reinforces that whole going the opposite of the gritty, realistic depiction. It's like, no, this is a cartoon. We're going to go full force into it. And you know what? It kind of reminds me. This is not going to make sense. The film Toys. Robin Williams' Toys. The reason I love that film, I just love the kind of. And that, though, is done practical. Just the splendor of just the sets and the creativity and the imagination of these different set designs and environments, and like the house that opens up like a dollhouse, but it's an actual house, and with the size of it, and just appreciating creativity. Same with this one, the creativity of the scene transitions and how they just did not hold back on the color schemes, all that stuff. Now, I don't know if this film needed to be 2 hours and 15 minutes, but, take that for what you will. It's pretty lengthy. I mean, again, Speed Racer, I guess they were hoping that, okay, even if a lot of people don't know it, it seems like a really different type of family film, colorful, vibrant, energetic. Let's go see the movie. Well, at that point, they're like, we're going to see Iron Man. I'd have to look back on the marketing too and see if the marketing really sold as well at all or not. Maybe some people who saw the marketing, they said, what is this? Maybe they didn't quite get it. Or it just wasn't appealing. I guess maybe to them. John Goodman rocking that mustache. I'm trying to think, I don't know, there's a lot of characters he played where he just had the mustache. Just Walter, I think, is like more of the goatee and other stuff, and then other roles he's more clean shaven. And as a star, like John Goodman didn't. I mean, he did a couple films as a star, and sadly, for some reason, I just never thought they were as good as the ones he did supporting. And I don't think it's because of John Goodman. Just the material he was given was subpar. Like Arachnophobia is great, and the material is great. Same with the Big Lebowski. But then you have like Teen Ralph. That strip that I don't even know I don't remember who the director was. That's a film that should have been a lot better. Same with Mr. Baseball. No, not the no. It was no. That's Tom Selleck. Was it The Babe? I want to say it was The Babe. The one who played Babe, I think it was called The Babe. Mr. Baseball. That's a different one. I do remember reading somewhere that he was really disappointed in that film because it's like he loves Babe Ruth. He thought like, I think he maybe deep down thought that'd be the film that could really get him to the upper precipice and maybe award nominations. Just as Babe Ruth, and he seems like the perfect guy to play this role. And he's like, we didn't quite get that. We wish we, take another crack at it. As this guy's getting the shit kicked out of him. Take your fucking shoes down, they stink. This guy was mutton chops, Jesus, shave that shit. The fish are like, don't bother me. Fish is like, let me get on camera. Some question, I'm thinking, I wonder if those fish are CGI. They might be CGI. I think they are. Yeah, I think they're CGI back there. Yeah, they definitely are. Especially the piranha. I forgot they were piranhas. Get your ass up, boy. We're gonna put your ass in there and then we'll eat your asshole out. Or you do what we tell you and you get your asshole eaten out by someone you do want to do. You don't want these guys to do it. They ain't going to do it the nice way. They're going to do it the hard way. I don't know. They'll put his hand in. Red Rover, let the motherfucker come over. And, we don't... Obviously, there's a... what is that moon in the background? Was that, another planet? You see back there's, a planet, right next to them. And it was, it had a reddish hue to it, too. Even the fucking moon, can't be that close to it. Otherwise, if a moon or a planet is that fucking close to you, you're pretty much fucked. Because if it's that close, Jesus. Some of the costumes here kind of reminds you a little bit of Dick Tracy. And that's another film that reminds me of a bit like Dick Tracy with the vibrant color scheme and the visual output and look. But I would say the way I like this much more than Dick Tracy. This one definitely has a lot more action. I definitely thought it had a lot more excitement to it, and it has a lot more visual panache and steel on the camera, behind the camera. Nice bit of slow mo there. Yeah, like the point of view of the gun, like this damn first person shooter. Uh oh. You don't want to do that. Well, he was forced to do it by his boss. Yeah, look at that. It's like Mars or something. And it's interesting like the amount of times they'll have like this whole plaid streak in the background during certain sequences. See, look at that in the background. I guess it's supposed to be a moon, but it's like this red hue to it. So it's not quite. I mean, it's in a time when you have these advanced technology and the way the car is handled, but we still have the old classic phone 5 1 5. Hey, don't have sunglasses at night. It's not right. No, be careful. You'll hit something in the road. I could see Keanu Reeves doing this. I thought Matthew Fox did fine though in the role. 37 minutes in. See, the thing tough with these comedies, I feel like I don't want to run out of shit to say by the time I get to like, well, the 40-minute mark, and I'd be like, I don't know what else to say. I guess just whatever comes to mind, but I tried not to have dead air, but I get afraid of having dead air, which would be very boring. I mean, commentaries are tough to do. They're tougher than you would think. Like if it's a movie that maybe you're with someone you go back and forth with, or if it's a movie you hate, and then you could constantly make fun of it and make fun of everything on the screen, it makes things a bit easier. Or maybe it's like one of your favorite films of all time, so you talk incessantly about your history with it, your personal history with it, etc. So like Aliens, Leviathan, Cobra, Hard Target, the first Ninja Turtles film, even the second one, etc. But when it's a film like this where I liked the film, I've probably only seen this film count on one hand, including now, is the amount of times I've seen it. Put over here in case the thumbnail's over there. Like the amount of times I've seen it, including this, is probably this much. So, if that, maybe even this much. Probably 4 or 5 times, maybe. So it's like, okay. I do love the look of the car, the Speed Racer car. I love the. I think it's a really cool looking car. I do like the little kid. I think he does a good job just kind of Like speaking as if he's older than he really is. So it doesn't come off as annoying or obnoxious or anything, at least to me. Even that shot is like interesting shot where it's shifting and you had the guy here and then he's back here and then when it pans then he's also over here. I can appreciate that where it's like, okay, we gotta have the scene where these two guys are explaining stuff or these guys are talking about stuff. And we could have it just shot blase or shot, as anybody would. But okay, let's make it interesting. It's like them looking at themselves or themselves being reflected, but they're reflected, but they're switch around and so you listen to it, but now your eyes, you're fixating on certain things, and huh. I know. Yeah, I think the one of the actors, yeah, was there. Hiroyuki Sanada. He would play Scorpion in the new Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat 2. He was also in, I believe, John Wick 4 and other stuff, but Bullet Train. I liked him in Bullet Train. I looked at that map behind the bad guy, and I don't know why this thought stuck in my head for the longest time. I remember back in the day, I did that map there where it's like the globe, but it's the globe done in certain kind of like this. Yeah, yeah. If you see the movie Behind the Bad Guy, it's not just a flat map. It's. I remember when I was a kid, I would watch like Hot Shots Part 2, and I would see that in one of the scenes. And for some reason, I thought that was a joke. I thought, oh, they made the map look like a butt. Okay, yeah, that's a visual guy. They made it look like a butt. And it's like, no, that's just how some of those maps look. And it was like years later I found out. I'm like, oh no, never mind. Because at school they never had that stuff. So yeah, I thought it was a joke they had. It's like, no, that's just how some of the real globe maps look like. I'm like, oh, okay. Because it's showing like the curvature of certain parts and of the globe and such. Previously, we saw the kid and the monkey in the candy. I don't know, would monkeys be allowed to eat chocolate? I know certain animals are not allowed to eat chocolate. Like, for example, if I type up, what should cats not eat? Other than poison. Onions, garlic, chocolate, grapes, raisins, alcohol, or anything containing the sweetener xylitol. These foods are toxic and can cause serious illness, anemia, liver failure, or death. Dairy products, raw eggs, raw fish, and yeast dough should be avoided due to digestive issues and bacteria. See, chocolate, caffeine, grapes, raisins. It's funny it says milk because you always think, give your cats milk, but it says most are lactose intolerant, resulting in diarrhea. So interesting. Onions, garlic, break down red blood cells, causing anemia. Sweetener found in sugar-free gum, candy, and some peanut butter causes liver damage. Caffeine, chocolate, has methylxanthins, cause muscle tremors, seizures, and a normal heart rhythm. Man. So here you go, yeah. Don't feed your cats garlic, onions. I just feed cat food. Just cat food. I don't really feed them anything else. Maybe soft, like from the canned cat food, maybe. So there you go. The more you know. That's the information for today. I will say this scene seems to be going on a bit too long. It's like we get the point. This guy's evil. He's a stump sucker. He's a cod sucker. We kind of get the point. So let's move along. Like we get it. Like I don't know if this scene with the CEO needs to take this long. So it's pretty much showing about how corrupt the whole system is. How the system's a lot more corrupt than Speed wants to say and wants to admit. How it's always been this way, so just be part of the program, be a part of the deal. It's not as a lot more cynical, a lot more heavy for payday than you want to think, than you want to hope for. See, I'm talking about the dead air. But that's what I mean. See, this scene just going on forever, dude. I think you get the information in half the time of this. So, yeah, I'm not going to say it's... no, very rarely is a movie perfect. I mean, this film's close to it. Like, Jar Jar was the Thing is pretty close, among others. But Aliens, I think, is pretty damn close. I don't know if there's such thing as a perfect movie. I mean, hell, my favorite film's Aliens, and I wouldn't say that's perfect because, when you're doing the goddamn airlock and this, 1-ton queen is grabbing your leg but can't pull you fucking down, and you're this far from space in the airlock, and you can still breathe and not, be sucked in, and as much as I love Aliens. Does that seem ridiculous? Yes. Do I still love the film and love the scene? Yes. But it's fucking ridiculous. And it's just totally fucking, just go with it. But can you pick it apart? Absolutely. Dude, how about you pick your hair color with your fucking gray hair? So you was dark hair, but you had a little bit of gray there. Maybe you should fix that shit. And now they all want to gun for him, get rid of him, fuck him up. Now he's doing fucking bat kicks and other stuff with the fucking car. I think the guy on the left with the pink, that's Art LaFleur. Rest in peace to him. Yeah, it's Art LaFleur with the mustache and the pink suit. Art LaFleur, he was in a lot of stuff. He was in some of the Transfers films with Tim Thomerson. He was in the Blob remake from 1988. He was the dad of Shawnee Smith. I think Air America. He appeared from time to time. Sadly, he has passed away. He was in Cobra, of course. And the other guy, I don't know if we'll go back to him, he played E. Honda, I believe, in Street Fighter, the 1994 film, Street Fighter. Yeah, all sorts of fucking chaos going on. Goddamn. And usually, I would be making fun of this, the CGI overbearing of it, but I think it's just done with such gusto and don't give a fuck attitude and how outrageous and crazy it is, and it's like the fuck Tonka toy from hell. Of course, they try to, they try to get him fucking killed and other shit. Like, you almost got me killed, motherfucker. I fucking forgot that he was still just explaining the shit. I thought this shit was actually happening at that point. I'm trying to think, is that who I think it is? Yeah, Richard Roundtree. Shaft himself. Sadly, he passed away in 2023, but the Shaft films is what he's best known for. Yeah, a few other people to mention. You have the rookie racer Rain, which, is that who I think it is? Yeah. Teijo, a rookie racer Rain, he was the lead in Ninja Assassin, which I want to say Joel Silver had produced, which he produced this. That's a film I haven't seen in a while, Ninja Assassin. That's a film I like to revisit sometime. Yunnan as that guy's sister. She was in The Expendables 2, I believe, right? Yeah, The Expendables 2. Carl Yoon as that guy's bodyguard. He was in Real Steel and Anaconda's The Hunt for the Blood Orchid. Peter Fernandez and Corinne Orr, the original English voices of Speed Racer and Trixie, voice race announcers in the film. I don't know which ones they are or were, though. Emile Hirsch attempted to gain support for a sequel, which he claimed the Wachowskis had written on social media in May 2018. That was never going to happen because it was a massive flop, and even if he did, it would still be a massive flop, I think. I really do. So I'm just looking through the trivia here. I'm looking, it's just there's nothing really that of interest. I can't find any. Yeah, nothing to really run home about trivia wise. Or at least that wasn't already talked about in the earlier. Yeah, look at the color scheme. You got like oranges and purple and just stuff you would not normally see in the decor of a house. And I'm sure that was the point of it, to really make it stand out and be unique. Have to be pretty damn strong to hold someone by the throat with one hand and not be and keep it there. Go, Speed Racer, go. I'm sorry, guys. I know it's dead air, but I like the film. It's colorful. It's fun. I don't really have much more to say about it. And we still got an hour and 15 minutes left. I don't know what, you know. Sorry, I don't know what else to say. I don't know. It's them talking in their car. It's raining out. I don't really know what else to say. The visual palette of the film definitely gives to the term bubblegum, that bubblegum pop flavor of a visual aesthetic. Come on, you can't fool John Goodman. Just imagine he goes to the wall. This is what do. Fuck the stranger in the ass. Just see what came out in 2008 other than this. I mean, Rambo 4, Iron Man, The Dark Knight, just to name a few. A lot of good films this year, honestly. I mean, if I just go through, well, I'm in January, but I like Cloverfield. I like, of course, Rambo. Yeah, there's some bad ones, like Diary of the Dead. It's pretty bad. I like Vantage Point, which also had Matthew Fox in it. Yeah, a lot of these, not really big on fucking superhero movie or other stuff. Hancock was okay. Hellboy 2, I liked. As far as I Want to Believe is one of the worst films of that year. Pineapple Express was fun. Tropic Thunder is great. Forgot that was the same year as Iron Man, that's right. Didn't mind Death Race. Babylon AD, fuck, that was disappointing. God, that was disappointing as hell. terrible fucking film, Babylon AD. See, like, that's a terrible... I don't think this is a terrible film. Babylon AD with Vin Diesel was a terrible fucking film. This guy was wannabe, like, fucking Elvis hair and mutton chops. I guess some of these tears do look like they would be in Dick Tracy. That one guy's fucking forehead looks like tired gravel road of states of Texas. Like someone took a rake. Was it like Sideshow Bob just taking rakes to his face repeatedly? That's why that guy has, look on his forehead like rakes. Sideshow Bob, so sideshow prick. Yeah, shoot that gun up. Don't shoot at me. I do wish they incorporate more of the Speed Racer music into there. Like that's one other thing that bugged me was that at the very end. I love the way it looks visually. It looks beautiful. And it's weird bubblegum kaleidoscope way. But that should have been playing like an emotional version of Speed Racer. Do 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 do. More so when he should have done the pose there. Maybe that's what I'm more thinking of. Is more of that pose, as well as the music, more of the music, more of the. He wins the race. He jumps up and does that pose. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. And the car flies and swings, and he jumps up. Dun, 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 dun. Maybe it's also one of those films that is easier to handle on a TV screen or on a computer screen than it is in a movie theater. Because a movie theater, there's so many fucking like transitions and movement and swipes that maybe you feel like you're getting a ricochet in your brain trying to handle it. But on home, TV, whatever, because you just see more of the peripheral. It's just easier for your mind to wrap your head around. Maybe it's just too much for a theater experience to see all this. See, like that bit with the dollar signs? That's a nice little detail there. That's definitely part of his cartoon roots. They love the fur. Now they're all gunning for speed. God damn. Wouldn't that be helpful? Have a damn tire that, you just push a button and be just as new, be just as fine. I mean, that's totally like something I would see in like Scooby Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf, whereas like the cars battling each other and they have like stuff to. I like doing a backflip and that's the thing. If you try to do this in the world of say Fast and Furious, it'd be like, what? I mean, I know Fast and Furious are now cartoonish, but it didn't lie to the audience. It didn't lie and tell you this is going to be this realistic film, and then all of a sudden it does this ridiculous stuff. It tells from the get go this is a cartoon, so it's not selling you a set of false goods, if that makes sense. And just some of the audacity of it is kind of. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you took a pretty big budget and you put into this, and you said, okay, go for it. And of course, it's Warner Brothers, and then you see where Warner Brothers is at nowadays, where actually, now that I think about it, is Warner Brothers still being sold? As of May 2026, Warner Brothers Discovery is not just for sale, but is in the final stages of being acquired by Paramount Skydance. Warner Brothers Discovery shareholders have overwhelmingly approved the sale to Paramount. How much is Warner Brothers being sold to Paramount? It's weird. One says 81 billion, but then it says 110 billion. Shareholders are receiving $31 per share in cash. I don't know why the fuck Paramount wants $110 billion. I mean, how the fuck do you have that much money? How the fuck does anyone have $110 billion? How? How? I don't know how anyone has that shit. And of course, I mentioned just Warner Bros. They had this. God damn. That is crazy, man. Sorry, I'm just keep looking at those numbers. Just keep looking at those numbers, and it's just. If you took, 1% of that, what is 1% of $110 billion? I just want to double check. Yeah, 1.1 billion. 1%. If you took 1% of that, I shouldn't. I mean, I had to see it. Like, I knew, but I had to see it, like, visually. Like, that's just 1%. That 1% would take care of me, you, and probably every subscriber I have forever. Forever. Take care of them forever. It's crazy. Fucking crazy. So Speed's thinking that's my brother, and then I do remember later on he takes off his mask and, oh no, I'm not your brother died. But then it's hinted at much later on that it is his brother, but he's got to keep it secret for reasons that maybe people know the show, know the reasons. Maybe they would have had that in the sequel. Be honest, that I mean, think about Warner Brothers, and again, I know it's but I just this was a chance that they took, and sadly did not follow through. What I mean by that is, this is a chance to take. Speed Racer is not a known commodity in America. Actually, I'll be right back. Alright. I'm 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 42 seconds. Unpause now. I know it's a bit darker, but I don't really need the light on for a commentary, and because it's Texas, it's just a bit hotter with the light on, so and it's just a commentary, so I could just leave the light off. I'll just edit the stuff together. But it's the scene where John Goodman's yelling at Speed and Christina Ricci, "Why are you part of this race? What's going on here?" And then Speed Racer explaining his course of action, why he's doing this. As the rooster out there approves of that message. So for John Goodman's character, he just, at the end of the day, he doesn't want to lose another kid. He lost one son. He doesn't want to lose a second son. And Susan Sarandon, like the way her hair is and such, and even the clothes, kind of reminds me of like a 1950s mother on a TV show. Oh yeah, this is where you had ninjas. I'm like, oh shit, there's ninjas in this movie now too? Martial arts scenes? Which there are. This is like a poison. Which, I mean, how much of that poison do you need to drink? Yeah, Matthew Fox ain't having it. Or I should say, his double. Well, there's Matthew Fox. Unless you hide the face, so you'd better hide the double. I don't know. Matthew Fox seems like he was in good shape and some of the other stuff I've seen him in, so. So this whole time, the poison's dripping into Speed Racer's mouth, right? During this whole fight scene? So it's like, well, how much fucking poison needs to be put in that mouth before he's dead? You know what I mean? Because that's what you're thinking of. You're thinking like this whole time, the poison is being dripped into his mouth, right? Wait a minute. I thought they were dripping poison in his mouth. Well, now they're now he's doing this. Okay, I'm a bit confused. I thought they were dripping poison into his mouth, and you saw it dribbling. So why did he need to come closer with his needle? Yeah, I'm a bit confused. Feel free to explain to me. I'm maybe I'm missing something. I have to be missing something. Ooh. Emile Hirsch, like the way he's moving, you tell is pretty slow. Like, uh, uh, uh. Speed Racer, not the most adept martial artist. Uh oh. It's like Hagar from Final Fight. There you go. Strongman competition. Yeah, you don't want to mess with him. You know what? John Goodman could be a good Hagar in Final Fight. You know what? I could see that. I like to see. You know what? That would have been different for John Goodman. An action movie? You know, kind of like this, but you know, he maybe bulk up. You know, he worked out a little bit more. Yeah, if he worked out a little bit more, a little bit of that stomach turned to the muscle there. He got the mustache, he had the look, he's a good actor. I can see that Hagar in the final fight. There you go, John Goodman. I can see that. Oh, I guess it was to him. I thought it was the speed. Was it to him? Yeah, okay. I guess that's where my mistake was. I thought it was the speed. I don't know. I guess I wasn't paying attention. I just seen the lips and stuff. Okay. Alrighty then. Yeah, I'll blame that on me. That's my fault. This part of it that does remind me of Scooby Doo and a Reluctant Werewolf when they're doing that big monster race and these others have like these crazy contraptions coming out of their vehicles from time to time. Like if you had done a movie on wacky racers, or was it wacky races? This format seems to be the better way to do that. you go. Have Trixie a little bit in on the action there. Hey, Trixie, be careful. You want to go off the fucking road. I know it's not, but I keep thinking that snake guy thing is fucking Sam Rockwell. I know it's not, but... Fuck you, Snake Charmer. It's like, you want to fight? You gotta fight. Damn. Double team. What the fuck? Speed, do something. Don't put a tire in your girlfriend's face. How is that tire not destroying the car seat, though? You think they would, like, be shredding the car seat? Like, it was on top of the car seat and it's revving. It's not tearing up any piece of the car seat, though? Here, I'm looking for fucking realism. It's like, how do you like it? How you like it, bitch? See how you like it, motherfucker. I mean, again, even though it's heavily CGI, it's just with how stylized and colorful and unique it looks. It's a visual feast, man. Isn't it like a fight scene that happens during this? I seem to remember some kind of action fight scene happening during this. I think. Yep. The gunplay there. Got him. Got him. Get that motherfucker. There you go. Nice headbutt. Nice tit there. Oh shit. See, even this stuff here, like I don't know, like the swirls of the whatever's in the air. Emile Hirsch is not good at the fighting, is he? He kind of like, eh. Just to be fair, when you have these other people, like, in comparison... That Matthew Fox seemed like he's decently trained. Yeah, right to the head, probably be fucking dead. See, this really is trying to be like an anime in live action. Certain movements and pose and the swirling and how sometimes when an action happens, the background will be all, I don't know, streaking of lights or something of that nature. Well, I imagine you took this style of filmmaking in terms of the camera work, the scene transitions, the way people pose and stuff, but you did with Akira. Obviously, Akira would be a darker, more violent story, so it'd be probably colorful and more of like a neon, more Blade Runner, type of thing. Not as bubblegum colorful. I keep seeing bubblegum, but just look at my time. Sorry, I was doing cocaine. Now my nose is itching. After this shot of cocaine, need it. Does the movie make you feel like you're on cocaine? Or some kind of drug? Again, when you see this stuff, I mean, I'm sure if you saw this on the bid screen, it'd be like this. The kaleidoscope might have hurt people's eyes in a way. Might be like, what's going on? What's happening? But can speed compensate for this? Is it okay? Take the shortcut. What kind of shortcut can it take over here? Again, this is the type of stuff that, I've seen clips of the cartoons since this. Never a full. Can't remember if I've seen a full episode, but it definitely feels in tone with the clips I've seen of the cartoon. I would love, I mean, like the Superman, the 40s cartoon, Fleischer cartoon. Do you imagine like a Superman done in, that style? With the color scheme and such? Like live action wise, I mean. I was gonna say, you better have some bulletproof with all the other shit you have on there. Nice flipping from side to side. Fuck off, buddy. At least how you deal with that. You curse the parachute, tell people he did not murder the guy. Lost in paradise, no. All that speed is still behind there? Well, he did the... See, he does the pose here. This pose should have been at the end of the film, though. I don't know why they put the pose here. The pose should have... I mean, that's like the pose people remember. That should have been at the end of the film. in the final race. He goes through it, he slides. Maybe they thought in that he's more tired and battered, and it's just them sinking it in, and that they thought it'd be more of the. Maybe they thought it wouldn't fit the tone of the scene, I guess. Perhaps, I don't know. Oh, but before I again had to do some stuff in the real world, but I was talking about Warner Brothers. I was talking about how 80 to $100 billion you're being sold to Paramount. How they could afford that, what they could do with it, because here's the thing. You pay that much money, the first thing you have to do is make it back. How many years, how many decades is it going to take to make back 80 to 110 billion, plus whatever money you're using to make the movies, the product, pay the people, pay the workers, pay whoever, because that's also money on top of that you're paying these people to produce these products or these venues or these pieces of media to get you past that 80 to 110 billion dollar deficit, because that's what it is right now. How you don't do that? Are you going to take pieces and go, who wants Harry Potter? And you don't hope that you went all through this shit for a fucking profit. But I don't know. I mean, I guess they really think that they're going to milk Harry Potter enough, milk DC stuff enough. I mean, what the hell else would they, I can't, Looney Tunes? What all you don't fucking... Please list all the properties, franchises, and such that Warner Brothers owns.
Warner Brothers Discovery owns many.
Shut up. DC, Harry Potter, Looney Tunes, Scooby-Doo, Flintstones, Lord of the Rings, So okay. So they're hoping that the DC films would get them billions. Harry Potter would get them billions. Looney Tunes, Lord of the Rings, King Kong, Godzilla. They own Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, Friday the 13th, they did own back in the day. But then Freddy vs. Jason X was New Line, now Warner Bros. Well, now New Line Cinema stuff they truly own. Game of Thrones, Sopranos, Mortal Kombat. I don't know, man. I just don't see them making all that fucking money back. I guess we'll see, Paramount, and it's your call. This is where he shows his face and goes, I'm not your brother. Your brother died, all that stuff. It's like, dude, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Okay, sorry, I fucked up a bit there. I accidentally paused it. I'm an hour, 30 minutes, and 44 seconds for those following along. Sorry. I was moving something, I accidentally paused it. But there you go. Hour, 30 minutes, and 53 seconds. No more water. Again, the accusations Matthew Fox had, I don't know what's true, what's not true. You never know with accusations. Some people, I mean, sadly, there's been a history of people that just made shit up and for their own gains, and it's proven to be the case that when someone else does get accused, you have to go, did it happen? And it may sound rude, and how can you not believe? Well, because there's other people that lied about it. Not saying you did, but other people did, so then you have to be unsure about the things. So, I don't know. Fuck. And that's the thing with this film. I realize more and more. It's kind of like you take the '60s. I was saying the '50s, but the '60s, the core era, because the cartoon was made in the '60s. I think maybe the manga as well. So you have like the flowers and behind John Goodman. Some decor seems like '60s type of furniture. But if the '60s were put into the future, that's what it's kind of going with. Which is probably why you have the old school phone and stuff of that nature. John Goodman sells this though. He sells it. Good, likable character who means well for his kids, afraid for his kids. You get people like John Goodman, it makes scenes like this work and it helps your film. It really does. It should come off as boring or pretentious or get back to the racing, get back to the action, but moments like this are cool. Really, the only scene that I really felt the pacing was when the bad guy kept going on and on and on to Speed Racer. It's like, goddamn, interminably long. And sometimes the Wachowskis get in their way with that. Matrix Reloaded, perfect example. When I call him the Kentucky Fried Colonel, when Neo sees was it the architect? What's this? I think that's his fucking name. The guy looks like the KFC Colonel. He's in white. He's in the chair. It just drones on and drones on and drones on to get through this exposition. I remember being in the theater and I could feel the theater energy dissipate. Just like, okay, there's Trinity and there's the motorcycle and does the pose and then, okay, now people are raving, and, Zion and, you have the crazy highway car chase and you got the fighting, the 100 Smiths and then it's like, that type of thing. That's the bit where they should have edited it. And I guess the Wachowskis, they wrote the script for Assassins, although apparently they were unhappy and said it was not close to what they had written, so they were angry about it. Now, Assassins I don't mind as a film. I think it's so... I liked it. The pacing isn't the best. The love story, not quite love story of Sylvester Stallone and Julianne Moore, I don't think was that interesting at all. I don't think it was needed. The stuff between Stallone and Antonio Banderas were a lot more interesting. That's the main crux of the movie, of intrigue. The stuff between Stallone and Antonio Banderas, not the Julianne Moore character. I could say I don't give a rat's ass a whole lot about her character. I'm not going to say she's bad, it's just the other stuff is more interesting. But yeah, I liked it. I think it's a decent film. I do like it. The Bound, I don't remember anything about it. And a lot of people love it, love it, love Bound. I better remember a damn bit of it. And then The Matrix. I mean, one more to be said about The Matrix. I saw it in the theater, was impressed. It was a lot, I liked it a lot more than. I mean, I don't hate The Phantom Menace, but I like The Matrix a lot more than The Phantom Menace. So that was 1999. Then you go to 2003. You had The Matrix Reloaded, which I saw twice in the theater, and Matrix Revolutions. Just Resurrection was the fourth one. But Revolutions. Matrix Revolutions is my least favorite of three, the first three, but there's stuff I disagree with what they did, but there's parts I do like. Especially the fight between Neo and Smith. Saw in the theater, I still liked the film. I don't think they needed to kill off Trinity. I mean, I don't even think you needed to kill off Neo, but I get what they were doing. Or the soul. Imagine the machine, heart of it, the soul, or the spirit, and then the human beings, the body, and the matrix itself, the mind, and how these three need to interconnect together and work together to be whole. But it didn't matter because you had the fourth film, and now that treaty is done, and we're just back to fucking square one. Fuck the fourth film. I mean, it's cool that Neo and Trinity are alive, but it's such a shitty, lame regurgitation of the first movie. Even the ending is just a rip-off of the first fucking movie. That's the point. It's a shitty point. I hate the fourth one. I said it'd be sucking, and people are like, fucking film sucked. I'm not the only one that thought so, and the film fucking bombed. For good reason. I said it was going to bomb. I told you it was going to bomb. And it fucking bombed. Just like, on a side note, this Blair Witch Project reboot is going to fucking bomb. I'm telling you. No one gives a shit about more Matrix stuff. No one gives a shit about more Blair Witch stuff. The Matrix films is not a beloved franchise. They love the first movie, but the sequels are not beloved. I like 2 and 3. A lot of people do not. And that carries over to whatever you do within the future. There are people that say the sequel sullied the first one. Not for me, but there are a lot of people who do feel that way. Stop making Matrix shit. Stop making Blair Witch stuff. But hey, don't listen to me. But yeah, the Wachowskis, I don't remember. Other than Matrix 4, I think only one of them did it. I don't think the other one had a part in it. I think a lot of people, they feel that the Matrix, afterward, they almost want to say like a one-trick pony thing. And no film afterward got as much success for them as The Matrix. The Matrix. Damn, John Drummond looks like Mario Brothers. Mario, not Luigi Mario. Just he had like the red and then the blue suspenders. Oh, it's Mario. Yeah, I get to race, asshole. So, get the fuck out of my way. Yeah, I need to get new glasses sometime, but then I have to. Side note, who gives a shit? To get my eyes checked is like $100 alone, and then to get glasses, I don't even know how much glasses are. Then I probably want a second pair as a backup. So, because I don't know what it is. I've had these for a couple years, granted, but like the top is fucking stuffed up. I can barely see through the shit. I'll do a fundraiser. And people like, fuck you, buy your own shit. It's annoying though, because I see. It's better when there's a light's on, but just whatever. Fuck it. Could be worse. I could be actual blindness. So stop whining, god damn it. So now everybody's going to be coming for him. Fucking death race. Everyone's going to try to knock him off. To kill his ass. I'm sure that I was, before some of these people, they were hoping this would be like a big thing and it'd be like a franchise. Do you see look at Fast and Furious. You would never have thought Fast and Furious would be 10 movies. They're trying to do an 11. I'm sure eventually they will, but although it's probably going to have not as much, I don't know. I just don't know if it'll do as well as they think. It may be like the Mission Impossible. Like the last one did not. I was kind of surprised how the last Mission Impossible film did not do as well as they thought it was going to do. Interesting collage of characters. Means it's interesting to have this collage and then the reveal of your lead character and then oh shit. Body rock, y'all. I don't know why I keep thinking of I don't know why it popped in my head the Moby song. You rock the body, rock the body. You rock the body, rock the body. Come on, that y'all. Sorry, I just see that, like Moby. I just see Moby soundtrack. So that'd be interesting. Like if I had the time and the ability to tape movies and like try to make them like different soundtracks. Like, can you imagine that if you took this whole thing, you made it Moby songs? Like when he wins the race, it's like the music that's used at the end of Any Given Sunday and in the X-Files episode. Only here. Sound like a damn karate move. See, again, if you were trying to do like these type of action pieces, you could not put it in a grounded reality. You just couldn't. I think people would be like, what? But when you set the stage for this ludicrous cartoonish angle, this fits in that world. It fits in that world, in that justification of that. Hey, this does really look like some of the tracks Sonic the Hedgehog will run through in some of his games. That's why I wish I would see in a Sonic movie. As much as I like the 3 Sonic films, I'm sick and tired of it being on fucking Earth. I am. I'm sick and tired of it being on Earth. Just Sonic has so many different realms of creativity that I want to see Sonic go through some of those. I don't care if it's another fucking dimension. Have it be like fucking portals, another dimension, just like Sonic got here in the first place back in the day. It's easy to fucking explain. And you've had 3 successful films, put a bit more fucking money and have Sonic the Hedgehog in a fucking track like this, like the casino thing. God damn. Time and time again. It was funny. I said that if they did in the 3rd film, I would be more pessimistic. But then I really did enjoy the film, and I'd probably say I liked the 2nd film. I'd probably say the 3rd film was better than the 2nd film. Yeah, I liked all 3 of them, but still. I'll tell you one thing, that for racing movies, this is a lot better than a film like Driven. I mean, yeah, Days of Thunder, which I like. F1 with Brad Pitt, I did like to that one. Did going back and forth. Not much for dents, not much for, broken pieces of the vehicle. I mean, 2 vehicles just slammed each other and did a poof. And there's like no dents on them. No breaking glass. You see sparks, but nothing's like breaking apart and such. Did like a damn bat flip kick. Sometimes I will say the directors have a bit too much of a tendency to go back to the announcers or the crowd. Maybe because if we leave it on here, maybe they thought the audience they'd be fixated so much that they would get like seasick. So it's like we have to have this stuff. Doing the same thing that what happened to his brother. Among other stuff. I said it was brother's fault and on that. Up, I'm going to show you guys. Yep, there you go. Oh, they're pissed off and angry. Now the others are like, I'm going to bail out on this guy. Fuck this guy. Oh, they're all going to pass him. He's going to be last. But that's the thing. Makes it more exciting. You're going to be last and be the battle of the first. Use the force, Luke. Use the force. That'd be funny. You did all this and it still won't start. That'd be like reality. It'd be like fucking riding lawnmower. Fucking dead battery or something. Spark plug fucked up. That'd be funny. I lost. End credits. I will say I do like the way this is done. It definitely gets you hyped. The way he's thinking about his family and what people have told him, friends, enemies, family, loved ones, girlfriend. It's kind of gearing up more and more. And how he gets in the zone. Not the auto zone, but he's in the groove, he's in the mood, he's in the zone. I'm just something about it. I will say, like, I like the way it's edited. It feels epic. Remembering his childhood, all that stuff. That's what I mean. It should have like the more of the Speed Racer music, like emotional instrumental. Bow down new, bow down new. Go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go. Just losing his fucking mind. It's all like a whole fucking battle. Everyone just loses their fucking mind. Everyone just have a fucking orgasm. See the editing, the way it's just rising up and up and up is getting more frenetic, more crazy. As somehow he just threw two cars with his car somehow, some way. He went ludicrous speed. He went to plaid. But I gotta say, like the ways didn't like, and even that with like all the lights look like stars. It's like fucking, and when he was going through, it looked almost like brief 2001: A Space Odyssey. Like literally insanity. I would say it gets you hyped up. It gets your energy blooming, and what you're, the purpose, what it's supposed to do. Oh, you don't want to fuck up Scorpion. You pissed off Scorpion. He's like, get over here. But you did definitely tell there's a lot of work put into this. I think there's a bit of heart put into this. It doesn't feel trash. It doesn't feel just like a product of a studio. There's ambition, vision, and love put into this. And the fact this film, I mean, it just completely bombed. It belly flopped. The critics took a dump on it. 40-some% Rotten Tomatoes. It was nominated for like worst. I guess like if it's based on something, because it's a like remake, sequel, or something else. This would be the something else. It was like nominated for the worst. I'm like, really? And it's just ridiculous. Yeah, and here we get to know the truth. faked his death. A little bit of surgery. So yeah, I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They blatantly tell you. I don't know if they should have told in this, if they should have kept that like a mystery, like for, well, there would be no sequel, but I mean, it doesn't bother me. I mean, if you know the source material, you'd already know the answer, but for those who don't, maybe it'd be like that hinting, like, was he lying? Was he not lying? I guess because it's PG, so they didn't want to have it be alcohol. It's supposed to be like a family film. Usually be like champagne and stuff, but here it'd be milk. Bit of slow-mo kiss. You see his turn to hearts in the back. Nice little detail. I don't think I noticed that the first time. That when they kiss, you see the lights become hearts. Like, look how like happy, uplifting this is, man. Cheaters never prosper. The Wachowski brothers, not so much the brothers anymore, but Joel Silver, the fat fuck. I say it because I remember Joel Silver. One of the things that happened was when they were doing that film Bullet to the Head, Sylvester Stallone, it was going to be Thomas Jane. But the news was that Thomas Jane got fired because Joel Silver said, well, it can't be two white guys. It's got to be like the white guy and, someone else. Black, Asian. I'm like, well, Bad Boys 1 and 2 were, they were two black guys. The other guys was Mark Wahlberg and fucking Will Ferrell. Remember the other guys? Hell, Tango and Cash was Stallone and Kurt Russell. It was such a stupid thing for Joel Silver to do, and would not have saved the film, but Stallone and Thomas Jane would have been a lot better than Son Kane, or whatever the hell the name was. So me and my friends were calling Joel Fat Fuck Silver. There's a lot of stories he's a dick as well. Forgot how much of the damn money they show in the end credits here. But that's it for Speed Racer. Very vibrant, colorful, ambitious movie that Sally did not find its audience at the time. I think nowadays you see there's some people that do find it underrated and underappreciated. I mean, it's too late because, it's like Dread. Although I would put Dread above this. It's still a business. You gotta support these movies when it came out. And came out. And when it came around the corner, you gotta go actually see it. Why do they keep making this in this film? Because, you know, Stream 5 and 6 made a shit ton of money, so they do Stream 7, and that made over 100 million. So they're going to make Stream 8 and Stream 9, probably a Stream 10. You know, why do they keep making this and this? Because this, and this were hugely successful. How come they don't do this? Because when they do it, people don't go. People don't see it. So take that for you, Will. But yeah, this was fun to revisit. Thank you so much, Rapper Kirby 3K. I'll try to get to your other requests as soon as I can. Thank you for your patience. Take care, everyone, and we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.